Right, here we go. And this time, not a starting stream. Anyways, it's another week, it's another grid drive, but it's also the start of my vacation, so we just released a big streaming schedule that you can see on my YouTube overview or starting page, which showcases all of the streams that I will do over the next 2 weeks. So that's one of the things that I wanted to get out of the way at the start, but there's a lot more stuff going on behind the scenes. Even though I'm on vacation, I'm still quite busy. I volunteered to test all of the grid drives instead of PO, at least until she's back and less busy. And yeah, that's a lot of work and we're still figuring out the best way to do it. But it also means that I get a first look at the streams, at the grid drives, before we do it together on Saturdays. So it got its advantages and disadvantages, but I think it's a good decision to just improve the quality of the drives a little bit by getting rid of bugs that just went under the radar. So something else that I want to get out of here is I am currently working on new alerts. Why is this? Because I think that the style of the last alerts I made didn't really fit the channel, and the new one is gonna look like, well, something like this. Just with a box underneath saying new subscriber and with this and stuff like this. And I think that is much more fitting to the channel than the last ones. And yes, some of you may think, but yo, this is looking like a sticker. And yeah, even more who also enjoy VTubers may think, oh my gosh, I really want some stickers now. And what are you even gonna do with stickers? I mean, you can order them, you can print them, you can just glue them at something, but at the end of the day, it's just stickers. And you even have to pay for most of them, but when I was thinking about it, I had a brilliant idea. So here we go. I just made almost 80 stickers that you can use, that you can download, and you can add it to WhatsApp and other apps that support stickers from Stickerly. And these are absolutely free, you don't have to pay anything. And I think they turned out really great. Yeah, so you also find the links portrayed on the picture down below in the description of the video. And from here on going, we will always have these 3 Stickerly links in the description of all of the videos. So I hope you enjoy them. If you like them, please consider to use them a lot. Spread the pink foxes around in the world. Yeah, that's all with the introduction, and now we're going right to the grid drive. I think this is what most of you have been waiting for. But yeah, I don't want anyone to say that I'm just a lazy bum sitting at home doing nothing. There's a lot going on. So as usual, the hut is already equipped. And here we go. Before I forget about it, today's grid drive is sponsored by C.H.C, which is one of the best vehicle makers, I think, aside of the cheerleaders of Second Life, the Cheermaster. So yeah, we checked them out after the video. They usually give out a lot of free vehicles as well, at least on their main store. I'm not saying that the other creators are not good. I know that there's a lot of good vehicles out there, and I'm just saying from personal preference, that's all it is, that I really like the C.H.C vehicles. Just Drive is also a good creator, but again, this is just personal preference. Alrighty, so today's grid drive is gonna be about visiting some old places that are supposed to be taken down in the future. we just take another look at the backstory of Second Life before we actually get to the sponsors area, yeah. And today's gonna be a bit laggier because some of the old areas are not allowing scripts to run, which is slowing down the HUD a lot. It's still working, but you will see that some of the directions and stuff will be kinda delayed. So for the first route, it's best to use a low lag and flexible vehicle, so we are starting with the Marauder. And for the last parts, like after the second or third leg, you really need an off-road vehicle that is capable of just about anything. And if you're still looking for a vehicle and you want to support one of the biggest makers of Second Life grid drivers, then please consider to get yourself a Super 80. You will definitely see once we get there why this is a great choice for off-road. Alrighty, and with all of the search, let's finally get started. I'm already getting a dry mouth from all of the talking. I've had a really rough week though. Well, not just because of my vacation, that means that I usually get to finish a lot of stuff before I'm out of office, but for some reason most of our external suppliers for services just gave us so much trouble and we were running after them most of the week and trying to fix stuff everywhere. We still got some backlog of errors from some of the last server movements. So it's been really kinda tough. And if that wasn't enough, I just yesterday managed to somehow slip on a really hard floor with my wet shoes. I landed so badly on my shin that it's probably either a really fine hair fracture or a really bad trauma on the bone. So it's hurting quite a lot on touch. Nothing is visible and it's not really swollen or something. I can still walk, but if you touch it, it hurts so much. But yeah, I probably visit a doctor on Monday if it's not getting better. But I'm not really very concerned about it because everything just looks like it's a trauma. And it's just getting better on its own after a few weeks. So yeah, that was quite an eventful week, if you want to call it. But I'm really looking forward to my vacation. I already uploaded the streaming schedule, as I said. And we've got a bunch of games that we're gonna try out for the first time, which I think is always fun. I'm quite surprised that there's not many Steam sales going on at the moment. Otherwise, we could have probably managed to look at a few more games. But it's okay, we got some of the big ones, I think. Is Sengoku Dynasty, which I'm looking forward to a lot. And then we got the Holy Grail or something. The Downfall of Avalon, I think it was called. But it's just the demo version, so if it's not long enough to keep us busy, maybe we put in some more Among Us. And there's also gonna be a lot more booster pack opening for Pokemon trading cards, at least on the live app. And that's because these videos are rather easy to make, even though it's also taking also almost an hour, but I can sit down and record all of them on one day. And then I just give you one video every day, and this is a way for me to make few breaks during the week. So it's not getting too overwhelming with all of the videos. After all, I just come from half a year of full-time work. And I'm kinda exhausted, so I don't want to go overboard and exhaust myself even more with streaming too much. I think we are good to go and we should be able to pull this off. Oh my god. Yeah, that was my fault. I just took that way too harsh. Oh my god. I hate this area so much. They really need to add some side handles. Alright. So as I mentioned, I've been doing the split drive before when I was testing it yesterday, and I think this is a start of improving the way that I drive, because I already know the route. Makes it a lot easier to maneuver. Alrighty, on we go. Also, I found out that all of the translations for the Japanese version of the drive are not corrected by Pio because she's busy, but C.H.C is actually using AI for the translations now, so hopefully they are good. Nobody can really test it. And there we go. So this entire part over here was auto-traveling. That was not me moving or anything. It's all part of the drive. And now we are equipping the parachute and running. And jumping. And boing. There we go. Oh my gosh. Yeah, do not try this with a parachute. It's probably the last thing you try in your life. Oh, can we make it? Yes, we can. And here we go. A little fun fact, the last time I was here when I tested the drive, this island over here was apparently visited by 2 people from the FBI, which was so funny. Alrighty, time to go back in time. For whatever reason. Alrighty. So this is a bit of a role-playing element, where we just act like this is the space station before it's built before the space camp. And now we are officially doing a rainbow ride. Again. I've seen a few people with 30 seconds on the scoreboard, and I think they would be really disappointed when they learn now that if they got this score on the actual camp, they would have gotten a trophy for it. Oh no. Oh my gosh, I made it. I thought I'd get stuck. This could... Nah, it's not a good time. Yeah, I kinda saw it coming. Anyways, let's continue. Let's see how we did. Also, hey there, Striker. Yeah, I'm doing quite well. My leg hurts a bit, but it's all good. How are you doing? Okay, we're in 6th at the moment. That's not too bad. And on we go. You found it? What did you find? Oh, that's pretty cool. But it's pretty much what I've been saying from the start, since Second Life is basically also just a simulation of Original 1. And it's just... Mouse look in Second Life is so much like VR chat. It's kinda stupid to actually use VR chat if you can still be on Second Life. The textures and stuff is just still way behind. Okay, so we are on this little island over here, which used to be the Second Life area for the people that pay for annual subscription. And it's been called the Linden Homes. And this is one of the older locations which the Linden Lab people try to get rid of. And not everybody has moved out yet, but over the next months, this whole area will most likely disappear and the servers will be shutting down. For this area, not for Second Life. And most of the residents from the Linden homes have been moved to the new mainland. So today's drive is just to discover the old Linden homes in Second Life. And some of the Sims have already vanished. But yeah, you really need a vehicle for off-road that is pretty much capable of surviving everything. And here comes the Super 80 in play, which I said, this is a really awesome vehicle, and you will see why once we get started. Okay. The thing is, I don't even own a VR Google, so there's no point in me for trying. Also, I'm not really that much interested in VR stuff because I kinda like the fact that I can just use Second Life on one monitor and do stuff on the other monitor. That is one of the big advantages of being on Second Life, and if you just use VR movies, then you take this away. And you also limit yourself to be either on Second Life in the stream, or you just take off the movies again to be outside on another screen, and I don't know, it's just not something that sounds fun. If you plan to be longer online and you do some role-playing or stuff maybe, but just for a regular user, I think that is pretty much overkill. And I missed my turn again. Yeah, I'm stuck. Okay, 1 second. Okay, you can already tell that this area is non-script because the HUD is not showing when I change the gears. And the navigation HUD is still working because it preloaded all of the areas and the route, but it is also a bit more laggy because of the lack of actuality, if that is even a word. Oh my gosh. They just had to make this one plant physical. Most of the stuff here is phantom, which means you can go through it, but it seems that they just decided that it would be funny to make it decent, not phantom. Okay. Honestly, it just surprises me that people actually still develop stuff for Zone Second Life. It's really kinda old if you consider it, but well, it's still alive. And I think it will be still alive for quite a few more years. This is a very dangerous hill, by the way. This is why I was saying in the group chat earlier that if you do the drive, you really want to drive carefully this time, because there are so many areas where you can get stuck or fall down a hill, and finding a resting area in this part of Second Life is really hard. And this is one of the areas where a sim is missing, so we just have to go around. Didum. And I just realized I'm streaming a bit earlier than usual, so I just hope I won't get interrupted by the postman today. It's definitely a possibility, but even if, then I'll just be happy to get the packages. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's a good idea. You just have to make sure that everybody moved before you try it. That's what they try to enforce at the moment, and if they succeed, that could potentially reduce the stress on the rest of Second Life a bit. But not gonna lie, I really like this area. I really hope that they make something close to this again. Because look at this. This is such a nice Japanesey area of sorts. I mean, the new town is not bad either, but this just got something more natural to it. While the new Linden homes are more structured, and there's so much more infrastructure around it. These are some really old trees though. Also, this one is a really nasty corner. I really hope we survive it. Alright. Nice. When I was testing the drive, I almost lost my vehicle over here. And the narrow bridge really makes you drive right through the corner, which is insane. Well, the thing is, I don't know how Second Life is built. So it may be structured in a way that makes it a bit more complex and difficult to restructure, I don't know. Also, if people are paying for their homes over here, you can't just go and wrap it up and say, well, sorry, but you have to move. Well, I guess I could, but then again, I'm not sure if it's really that expensive to have a sim like this running. It's maybe $50 a month. And that's not much for our company, I think. Also, this is the easy half of the way, by the way. The real off-road part is still to come, which you will find out why I'm so fond of the sobriety. Well, No Man's Sky is not as old as Second Life. I'm not sure, but I think Second Life is about 18 to 20 years old, which is insane. I would really hate to see Second Life closing. A lot of people are still spending so much time on here. And it's really like a second home. And to some nerds, it may even be a first home. But look at this and tell me, isn't this just a really nice area? Okay, it's getting a bit more off-roady. You have to be careful over here because there's some kind of sinkhole, which we'll be getting close to just in a minute. Right about here. If you keep going to the right, you fall into the hole. Well, the thing about fiber is not every country has it. And I speak from experience. Being from Germany, fiber is rather rare still. They try to support and increase it a lot, but most of the people are still using DSL and copper wire. And even though they... Also, first thing, I'm surprised that No Man's Sky is also this old. And secondly, Second Life was built up and they never really expected it to last this long. And at some point they even considered to get rid of it and sell it off. So the approach is quite different from No Man's Sky. And right now we are in a sort of area where Second Life is still producing some value, but not as much that it would be worth to develop a lot. So as long as the people are playing, it's gotta survive. But once the interest is going down, Second Life is in danger. That is at least my view on things. Alright, So we are starting with the second half of the off-road trip. And this is the part that gets really rough. Well, I'm not using fiber yet either. And it's not even a fast DSL connection, it's just a regular one. But it's more than enough. Alrighty. There will be a house over here somewhere which is not enterable with your vehicle, so you have to be careful about it. And I think it's 1 or 2 turns next before we reach it. Okay, there we go. This is going smooth so far. It really helps that I've already driven this once. And someone is flying over there. I think they are lagging a lot. I just saw the green dot on the minimap fly by. Yeah, and this is why the Super 80 is absolutely awesome in this area of the drive. You can just drive over all of the stuff. Oops. And you get even out of this area. So yeah, if you're looking for a new car, then please consider to look at the Super 80. I think they also made another vehicle that is called the Adler, which could be potentially equally good, but the Super 80 is just a bit more fluent and quick. While the Adler is also sturdy and all, but it's more balanced. And they got another one that is the G.X. no whatever, and that is just way too fast, I think. Some people who like to drive fast may enjoy it, but for the majority, I think this is the best vehicle that you can get. And there we go. If you're using some of the standard vehicles in Second Life, then you just get stuck on most of the hills and the bumps on the ground, where some vehicles are just shining. And I'm not saying that the Super 80 is the only vehicle that's great like this, but it's just personal preference and experience. And so far there are little vehicles that are really easy to use in a surrounding like this. There could be some that I just don't know about yet. So if you got a good vehicle, then by all means just stick to it. Also, I'm not paid for the advertisement. I'm just saying this because I'm really absolutely sure about this vehicle being top-notch. And it's also made by one of the biggest supporters of the drivers of Second Life, so with every Super 80 sold, you support the group a lot. I'm just really looking forward to the postman. Not because he's my type or something, but because of the package she's gonna bring. I just recently ordered some full art Pokemon cards for a Team Rocket deck. And we just love the bad buys. Oh my gosh. I overturned over there. Okay, there we go. I'm still struggling to reach the higher levels of the league on Pokemon Trading Card Game Live. So the Team Rocket deck is not really top meta at the moment, but it's definitely not bad either, and it's kind of fun to play, as long as you get some good hands. If you just get bad stuff, then it's getting really annoying. And one of the most annoying things in the game at the moment is Iolo. I hate her so much. She's been ruining my games all over. But I think that is a feeling that a lot of people got. Alrighty. Okay, that looked a lot more dramatic than it was, because aside of the hill there was also a crossing. And I think we struggled with the crossing instead of the hill. Incident. When I was doing the drive for the first time, I think it took me about 1 hour 30 or something. So potentially we are gonna be 10 minutes earlier today. But that's okay, I definitely covered them with all of my talking. I also have not tested the reward vehicle yet. Okay, I'm just trying to focus a little, because there's so many turns and it's so narrow. And most of the homes over here are already deserted, but some are still pretty much used. And this is the area that I was mentioning before, the house on the right, the 105. This area is red on the map. You cannot drive over the pole. If you try to, you risk to lose your vehicle. Which is not good because you cannot mess over here. So make sure to stay on the left. And what you just heard was the hut catching up with all of the signals that it couldn't play while we were in the no script area. So this is not a bug. It is not the hut going crazy, it's just the way how Second Life script is working when you leave one of the no script areas. It's kind of funny that it's just going havoc. With ding 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 ding. When it first appeared, it just absolutely surprised me. Hey there, flipped. Oh my gosh, and we got Glenn Moore Necesito in the chat. There's so many people today. Oh my gosh. And a good day to all of you guys as well. I hope you're having a great day so far. This area is kind of funny because it reminds me of an area in Germany. You know, there are a lot of areas where the Roman Empire was based. Right through Germany, there's a line that was some kind of border wall, which we called it the limes. And up to this day, you can still find some watchtowers and reminders of the wall everywhere in Germany. And there's even a walking route for wanderers who can walk alongside the former line of the limes. And look it up if you are interested in German history and the Roman Empire. It's crazy that I still remember the stuff. Yeah, we're just doing the regular Second Life Grid drive today. After this, I'll probably just prepare some booster pack openings for the next days because I'm officially on vacation right now and I already released a big streaming schedule the other day. So it's gonna be a busy time. And just pointing it out again, you could not drive like this with a lot of vehicles over here. This one I'm using is doing extraordinarily. It's awesome. I have no idea what you mean with this. The comeback on Roman? That sounds kinda odd. Oh my gosh, the mushroom is physical. It's not a phantom mushroom. And we arrived. Nice. So let's take a break. Oh, that was a border structure where, you know, usually when it's like the Great Wall of China, but the outer border wall of the Roman Empire in Germany. So it really was just a big wall of stone with some watchtowers everywhere. And as I said, we called it the limes, some kind of the border wall, a big line straight through almost the middle of Germany from north to south. Yeah, definitely. It's a nice bar though, but again, this whole area is probably shutting down soon. It's a really nice barn, not gonna lie. I have put a lot of details on it. And even got some item givers. This is not a red apple. This looks poisoned at best. I like myself some onions. This is not mine, but so no, I cannot rest it in my inventory. You can only pick up stuff that you own. Obviously. It's a nice bar though, not gonna lie. Let's see who the owner is. Oh, it's Naughty Mole. Interesting. I think Naughty Mole is one of the admins of Second Life, but I could be wrong, don't pin me on it. Okay, some fairies, which looks really questionable. Interesting area. I like it. But we have to hurry back because our vehicle is gonna be returned after 5 minutes. And I think it's already been 3 or 4. Okay, long range vehicle jump. There we go. Run, Forest, run. Well, it's a mushroom forest. Run, mushroom forest, run. I wonder who came up with this design. It's absolutely crazy. Oh, by the way, if you missed it, there's a racing area behind the bar, so if your vehicle is returned, you can miss out a new one. And it should be right over there. There's the racing area, you can just go through the bar over here and just drive it out of the front door. Oh my gosh. This is quite the wild drive with all of the turns and stuff. And I'm usually driving faster, but just not possible today. Well, you got several options, honestly. If you just need a new car, then you can just do some grid drives, and after every drive you usually get some vehicles for free. And maybe one of them is one of your next favorite vehicle. And if you still want to buy one, then again, I really like the ones from C.H.C. or the G-Master. Well, yeah, obviously, we have been doing these drives for months. And so far, I think we've always got no vehicle at the end. And in most cases, it's just the car. Also, joining the group is free, so you just have to do the grid drive and you get something that you could potentially really like. Well, this week's drive is probably not the best for this because it's not an everyday vehicle that we get, but potentially next week. But yeah, again, if you still want to buy one, then I would say go for C.H.C. or maybe a G-Master. My personal favorite is still the Super 80. But it's really expensive, I have to say this. I think it's currently at 3,000 linden dollars, which is about 10 or 12 bucks. It sounds a lot, but honestly it really isn't, because I know the creator and she put so much work into this. And the vehicle is really a class of its own. I'm not sure if they got a demo version of it though, but it might be worth to check it out. But again, if you're on a tight budget, then just do some grid drives and maybe you'll get a nice car in one of them. I think a few times before we got a BMW, which was really good. I just never got to edit and mod it, which I really like to do with my cars. Like the Super 80 doesn't always look like this. The texture I made myself and the coloration I made myself, so yeah, but it's, again, the vehicle is awesome and you get a really great package for the price. And you support the driver's group with it, which is a bonus. I mean, let's be honest, if you are on Second Life and you have been in a vehicle before, and you have seen this live on stream or video, then you know how much trouble you would have with some of these hills and stones and stuff. And jumping around with a vehicle and climbing hills, that is not a given. That is something that most vehicles simply cannot do. And we're just doing it easily today. So that's probably the best advertising that you can do anyways. I don't even want to know how many people do the drive and they just get stuck over and over again because they think that their off-road capable vehicle was very off-roady, but these hills are something else. This is like hiking. And look at these bumps. Also, do not try this at home. You'll definitely ruin your car with this. Oh, okay, didn't make it through the crossing. Alright, so we're back on track. That jump was awesome. I wasn't sure if I could make it. I didn't try it in the test run. That was close. Oh my gosh, we're still not over it. And this is one of the signs that I got stuck last time as well. It's just so narrow over here. Oh yeah, here I got stuck as well. What I really like about this vehicle, aside of it being super nice to maneuver, is that you get a built-in reset of your camera every time you cross the sim. So you don't need a camera reset hut or enforced camera view to your back. Alright. I think we made it through here quite nicely. There we go. 90-degree bump. Oh my gosh. Okay. Just a random garden over here. Shout out to the gardener. There are some pretty dope statues. And I think we're getting close to the end, actually. Today's drive is only 4 legs, if I remember correctly. Oh my gosh. Okay. Just some really random statues overall. Just some normal throne over there. Well, this is a pretty open area, so we can as well just have some fun. And there we go. Flawless. Oh, just imagine I would have hit the area where we have to park. That would have been so awesome. Okay, so we are in a non-scripted area again, so the hut is a little bit laggy at the moment, and some of the scripts on my avatar are not resetting properly, so that's why the tail is stuck, and some of the locations on the hut may be a bit slow. But all in all, everything should be working, so I'm not concerned. Just make sure to stay on the left side of the staircase over here, because some of the routes and the checkpoints are really narrow. Oh my gosh, this is like a workout. I think we touched more than enough grass for a day. And we are going to the sponsor. Here we go. So this is one of the creators that I mentioned before, and they make some really good vehicles. It is C.H.C. over there. And they also got a bunch of free vehicles over here on the wall. And sometimes when you come over here, they also got some stuff in the free area over there, where they got some Halloween or Christmas stuff. But again, I would still say that the Geomaster vehicles are just a notch better. And no disrespect to Manta at all, but I mean, the drive pretty much speaks for itself. Wait, I think I unboxed this already. Nope. I'm not sure if it's this one, but pretty much looks like it. Ah, yeah, there we go. So this is the free vehicle that you get for completing the drive. It's a bit of a truck. Let me just turn it around. There we go. Yo, old trucker there. Okay, so let's see what we can do with this. We got some lights, they look okay. We got a funny horn. We got some options, it seems. Okay, this is important. We got full control over the gearing stuff. So the tuning menu, you may call it. This is very important. You can activate cruise control, which I don't think is a big thing. Okay, you can change the sounds as well. It doesn't look like you can change the color from the menu. Oh, I'm not sure if there was a customized area. Let me see again. This? Nope. I don't see anything about customization yet. The camera, the controls. No, I don't think there's customization. At least it doesn't look like there is. Maybe it's just the driver's version that doesn't give you the option. That could be. I'm still surprised we cannot recolor this. Ah, that's a shame. Okay, so you can tune it, but you cannot customize it. Okay, let's drive it. It is quite bulky. The controls are not bad though. As I said, C.H.C. is still a really good company. Or a vehicle creator. You definitely want to change the tuning a bit and make the turning a bit stronger. It is a bit slow. My biggest issue with the C.H.C vehicles is that usually you require to use a camera HUD because they get stuck pretty quickly, and when you change the sims, often you just mess up your camera. That is not unfair criticism or something, it's just something that I observed. It just happens. And it happens to a lot of people. I don't know why the Super 80 doesn't have this problem, but I guess it's not a big deal if you just use the camera HUD. But it's a bit inconvenient. And if you remember, we got a little truck that is called the Hiker. And the Hiker is also a C.H.C vehicle. Oh, I almost killed Toto. And there we go. So as I said, every time you finish a grid drive, you get a reward at the end. And that means that potentially you can just do a bunch of drives and check out the vehicles that you get. Maybe you're lucky and get a really nice one, and if you do, that is good for you. This is the main headquarter from the drivers of Second Life. It is located in Hyosube, if you call it this way, I am not sure. On the map it's over here. Hyosube 27,214,43. And it's the northern end of the map, more or less. And if you have been here before, oh no, there isn't. Okay, let me just check. There's another one. And and drivers. There we go. This is a little older area, but it is just working as well. As you can see, it's also an outpost of the drivers of Second Life. And we are located in Chugot Gulf Airport, which is over here in the south. I guess it's 1 second. Okay, it's Chugot's area in Spanish 833663. That is funny. And over here we got something that we don't have at the headquarters. It's the archives. And you can get the latest drive if you click on the globus. As you can see, the NAVHAT for the 7th of June over here. And if you click here the archives over here or over there, you can select the year and the month, and you can get a folder of older drives. Then some of them are still working and reward you with the reward. It is not guaranteed, but you got a good chance that if it's C.H.C or another big creator, then you could potentially still get the reward, even weeks after. Alright. Yeah, I think that's all from the grid driving today. The drive. Yeah, let's just do it once, so that you guys can see how it's working. And you click the archives, you select, for example, month, March, and you click GIF. And now you receive all of the navigation HUDs from this month. And you can just accept or discard them, whatever. And then you can do the drives if you equip the HUD as usual, and there you go. And as you see, we get 5 drives at the moment, which I don't really need because I did all of them. But this is your way to redo some older drives that you missed because you were busy or because you didn't join the group yet. So yeah. Okay. But I think that is all from me for today. Let me just give you a little shout out again for those that joined really late. Because we got some stuff. We got some new alerts incoming with this graphic over here, which is really cute and more fitting than the last. And I have also created a bunch of WhatsApp stickers. They are available for free at Stickerly with these links over here. And you can just download them for free, use them in WhatsApp however you like. The link is also down in the description. If you like and enjoy them, drop in the comments which is your favorite sticker. And if you like this content, then please consider to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. Alrighty. As I said, we got a lot of streams incoming. I show you the schedule again. Hope that all of you guys have a nice rest of your day and see you next time. Bye.